that way. I've put in all my training for the week. Time now for a little fun at Walt Disney World. Okay, coach?
Gosh.
Hey everybody, there it is, Cinderella's Castle. You know what? This is what we're all training for, to get out here and to run through that castle. And for me, it's to run through it twice, not only for the half marathon, but for the full marathon. And it's why we're putting in all of the training. T-minus 14 weeks and counting until we hit the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend. Actually 13 weeks probably by the time you see this. So keep training. This is a maintenance week. 2 30 to 45 minute training runs and a 3-miler at the end of the week. Now I'm doing something a bit different because of the broken foot. It's still healing. I'm doing 2 sessions on the elliptical on the Max Trainer for about an hour each, and then an hour and 15-minute duration run. It's going to come out to 6 miles because I already did it, and that's why I was able to come out here. I got everything done during the week. They were comfortable runs and I'm feeling good. Now the foot's a little sore, so we're trying to be careful today, but what we're gonna do is let you meet the person who's gonna try to get me here, try to make sure that I can do this run down Main Street, USA. And that's my coach and trainer, my really good friend, who I actually met here right before a RunDisney race.
Did I ask to sit next to you on the bus? Is that what happened?
Oh no, you were the poor sap who had an open seat next to you and I took that seat. Is this seat taken? No, go ahead, sit. And then I saw you looking at your camera and I was like, oh.
Oop, I'm on your foot there, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
After that day, we had gone our separate ways, and here comes this woman under the overpass between Epcot and Hollywood Studios screaming my name.
Gerald! Hi, Gerald! It's your friend Karen.
Hey!
Karen, hi, how are you?
How are you?
Good, it's good to see you all.
Oh my God.
You're just as sweaty as I am.
I know, right? Are you having a good time?
Yeah, I'm hot
It's
though.
fun. I
I'm
know.
running really
It's-
slow.
It's sticky. Powerade and my friend Karen.
Hey, how's it going, world?
You've been running for a long time, right?
Yeah, I really didn't start running actually until about 2012 actually. And it really only came about after I made the ridiculous decision to do an Ironman triathlon, Ironman distance triathlon. And that's actually my medal and my bib and my finishing picture right behind you there, so on the wall.
That's quite a big leap, I tell you what, to go from cycling and, occasional running to an Ironman, because that's a pretty healthy race to try to run.
Yeah, I figured you go big or go home.
Okay, which angle do I want? This is fine.
How do you become a coach? What did you do?
I was actually writing a blog.
She's posing.
What ended up happening was I had a lot of people reaching out to me saying, I'm so inspired by what it is that you're doing. I'm going to try and go run. You're so inspiring.
That's fine. Thanks, Karen.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Do you feel you learned a lot when you went through that certification process to try to become a coach, more than you thought you already knew as an Ironman?
I had been through coaching and I knew a lot of the philosophy and the terminology and the sort of the ins and outs of something called periodization training. What I didn't really appreciate was the sort of the other things that a coach has to do for an athlete.
Wow, it's crowded out here. Main Street, USA, just packed with people. So I couldn't do that run for you, but I can recreate. Holding up the camera, there's nothing like it in the world. I guess unless you go to Disneyland Paris or Disneyland when they run those races.
Hear ye, hear ye. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Magic Kingdom.
It's not just about writing a training plan. You can pull a training plan off the internet and you're good to go if that's all you need is a training plan. But people oftentimes, and especially new runners or runners who are trying to get faster, runners who are trying to try a new sport, they need encouragement. And that was something that I found that I actually really, really enjoyed. And that's what really keeps me going and keeps me continuing to be a coach.
Why the name, a sometime athlete?
That actually came from my blog. That was the name of my blog, The Sometime Athlete. And I called myself a sometime athlete because I was never really good enough to be considered like competitive, if you will. But I always had this inclination towards it, but I also am inherently lazy.
Our Pirates of the Caribbean, me mateys.
And so it was very much, I mean, you've seen me totally crash out on the couch at Disney, so I do lazy really well. So it just kind of was like, sometimes I'm an athlete. And so that's where the name came from. And I think unless you're a real competitive athlete, everybody has the capability to be a sometime athlete.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Workout started.
I wanna jump around when I think about yesterday. Your smile, your style so fly, my oh my.
I've stretched, 5-minute warm-up, walking. Time to start the interval timer. 30 seconds, here we go.
Now I'm embarrassed, but just a little bit. Oh, there must be gold on those lips and honey on those fingertips.
Bit of a late start, the sun's up, already hot. And you know, it's really hard to hear over that traffic at this hour interval timer. I just couldn't hear the bell. You know, Karen and I ran quite a few races together at Disney before I reached out to her for some coaching help. It was only after I got sick with bronchitis during the Disney World Marathon weekend and had to skip Princess Weekend that I said, hey, I need your help. In fact, we got me a lot faster going into Star Wars, even with the fact that I was running on that undiagnosed stress fracture. Run timer. Karen does no injury. She actually fell while training for the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend in 2017. So during that 2018 race, she still had a broken arm several places, and I kept bouncing into it. She was with me when I broke my foot during Star Wars, and when she talked me out of running the half marathon.
You had to talk me out of a race that I was more than willing to run. You know that.
I do believe what I told you was that I would not run with you. I was very forceful with you, yeah. Dealing with injury is really, really hard. Working through an injury and getting to the other side of an injury, as you're starting to now, you have to build back slowly. You have to build very purposefully so that re-injury doesn't happen.
Can you imagine us two out in the woods in a big old house? We'd pass our days on clouds floating around.
For you, we are concerned about time on your feet. We need to get your foot to be able to handle several hours of just having weight on it and being used.
My goal for this run is to simply keep moving, make it comfortable, because I want to go to Disney. Run timer, man, they come so fast. I'm doing 30 50s now, 30 seconds walking, 30 seconds running, 50 seconds walking. I don't remember all the time. Runner's brain.
We're not going for speed here. We're not going to break any world records. We are trying to get your foot to understand that it can handle this stuff.
5 miles. Pace 8:51. Average pace 12:57.
Spooky. So I reached out to Karen real quick. Sorry, I know you're in Seattle. One of her favorite rides, not only Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion.
Of course, there's always my way.
The motto that I kind of like to work with my people on is that a 12-minute mile is just as far as a 6-minute mile. It doesn't matter how fast you're running, and you know this now. It does not matter if you're running the same speed that everybody else is. It doesn't matter. You're all going the same distance.
Oh, there must be gold on those lips and honey on those fingertips. Oh, we could be birds discovering the world. The best ones.
So my foot's a bit sore and my belly's really full. I have 2 words for you. Bottomless milkshake at the plaza, right? I mean, come on, I run for food. I run to meet people like you and Coach Karen. I run to be able to come to places like this, the Magic Kingdom, which reminds me, I want to give a quick shout out and congratulations to everyone who finished the Chicago Marathon. Way to go, awesome. You know, this was just a brief introduction to Karen. She has a lot of advice for you about following a plan, getting support, even hitting that wall. That's coming up next time as we hit this really big week of training. 7 miles of walking, 17 miles of running. So keep training, and I will see you right here at the start line.